Good morning, everyone. I'm Shadows Pub. Welcome to Pimp Your Post Thursday, taking place in the Steam at Ramble and streamed live on DLive. For those who are new to the show, you'll see a message I'm going to drop into the channel with instructions for an emoji you use to enter the queue. When I see the emoji, I will add you to the queue list and put another emoji by yours. If you want to see where you are in the queue, visit the DLive link. Be sure to mute the sound there if you're listening here. When your turn's called, you'll drop your link in the text chat and come on to voice to tell us about your post. If you're unable to use voice, then you must have text ready to copy paste into the text channel when you drop your link. There we go. Yeah, thank you, kitty girl. And first up we have Ann Cat Barbie.
I do that a lot.
What's that? There we go.
I said I do that a lot. I'm like on the bit with the PYPT emoji.
You are.
So the Steam blockchain has a new witness, and it is Sapphic, and Sapphic is awesome and does a whole lot of work behind the scenes. Really, she doesn't post a lot, so you may or may not know who she is, but she set up a witness, and she did so while the blockchain was frozen the other night. A lot of people, I guess I'll just kind of get that out of the way. A lot of people are probably aware. Somebody tried to withdraw a negative amount of vests, and the blockchain did what it was supposed to do when something funky happens. It froze out, and it's a consensus of the top 20 witnesses that it takes to resolve or vote on the resolution to something like that. But because of the weird time of day that it was, like half of them were asleep. Not surprisingly, a whole bunch of the not top 20 witnesses, like the 50 to 100 witnesses, were like right there on it, but couldn't really implement anything without the consensus of the top 20. Anyways, with that out of the way, Sapphics really awesome, and if you have a free witness, go vote. Go read her post, go and vote her witness. That's all for that one.
Okay. Maybe Sapphic will come and visit us sometime so people can get to know her. That would be a good thing. Okay. What happened was the blockchain wasn't supposed to replay on nodes when the fix was implemented, but a lot started, and that's a 6-hour wait. That is a long go. That information came from guilty parties. Okay, Snook, you are up.
Alrighty.
Yes,
Hi,
D-Joy, we saw you.
Okay. This is my new show. It's a podcast that I will be posting once a week, hopefully. And it's the pants are optional means that you can either, like Artemis North did, you can just do voice, or if you would like, you can do a live where we see your face side by side with me. So that's where the pants are optional comes in. And it really turned out good. The sound on this is really bad, but you can hear it. Then I worked like 12 hours to get it so it's as wonderfully bad as it is.
It does have a little bit of a echo chamber sound.
Yeah, it does. And that's as good as I could get. So my son and daughter-in-law we did a little bit last night, but then it got late. And anyway, so we're working on that. But it's just fun. It's funny. You can't talk about Steam or Steam It on there. So it's...
And I guess we're at Ivan G.
That is correct. Ivan G is next.
Unless the hive had something else that he wanted to substitute.
I
Okay.
made the dragon and
I've
streamed.
relisted my name, so I'll just go again when my name comes up again.
Okay. Thanks,
I
Jack.
just made what's it called, a video of me folding this dragon. That's about it.
Folding a dragon.
Oh, surely you can say more than that.
Yeah, this is your origami. How long did
Well,
it take you? How much paper did
it
you
took
use?
me 25 minutes. The paper was it's a single sheet, and I decided to make a D-Live video because I'm going to Dalmatia and I won't really have the ability to film there and so on.
So, where did you say you're going?
Dalmatia, we have a summer house there
And where's that?
in Croatia.
Oh, in Croatia. I just didn't pick up the pronunciation. So your connection's not going to be as good, or you're just not going to have as much time?
I won't have time, and I have two sisters younger there, and my parents and so on, so it won't really be a good environment for making stuff much.
If I remember correctly, I think Dalmatia is right on the shore of the Adriatic Sea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to be geographically challenged.
I'm a geographic nerd, usually.
Oh, we make a perfect balance. I'll be clueless and you'll find it. All right. Thank you, Ivan G. And D-Joy, you are up. And I see she's muted. You gonna come on mic, I hope?
Okay, can you hear me
There she
now?
is. We can hear you. Remember to stay near your mic. The last time you were back away from it a little bit, made you kind of low. So tell us about your post. And crickets. We had you. Try again.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. I said this is the third episode in my story. The story is called Broken Bodies. It's the mystery and horror story about a serial killer. The serial killer happens to be a doctor, but they have to guess which doctor it is because there are some doctors mentioned there. So the interesting thing about the serial killer is his mind, what he believes and what intrigues him. But not only him, also the autopsy guy also has an interesting mind. So those are the things that makes this story interesting for me. So this is the third episode. I've written 1 and 2 before. It was kind of slow writing 3 because I needed to get into their minds again, and I was kind of busy. But I hope the rest episodes come faster. So you guys should read it and and get it yourself. I don't want to talk too much about it.
Okay. Nicely done. Thank you, D-Joy.
Thank you.
Your voice was much louder and clearer this time. You're getting better every time.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to Eco Instant.
Oh my gosh, that looks really scary.
Ooh, that sounded kind of echo chamber.
Yeah, we're all in the same room here. Let me run away for a second.
Oh, Snook, he's running away from home.
No. That sounded like a ghost because you could hear it from the other room. We're all in like 3 separate rooms, which is hilarious.
The family that stays
Okay,
together just
it could be
goes
better.
together. There we go.
All right. Yes. Thank you for that translation, Kitty Girl. For those that don't know.
Okay.
All right. So this is my second U-log. Some of you may remember my first U-log was kind of just an angry rant. And so I went back and I tried again. And this time I focused more on the positive side. Why particularly I think complaining about Steam or Steam It, and why I think it happens and why I think it's particularly useless. And so I try to break down all the reasons why Steam is really special, which aren't all obvious. And the specific, I think, thing that isn't obvious to everybody is that Steam and Steam It are distinct entities. Steam is I think, really a marvel technologically. There are a few other graphene chains, but I don't know. I tried to use BTS and lost a whole bunch of coins. So I feel like Steam, in terms of like usability, is really ahead of any other blockchain. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard the technical things, 3-second transactions and free transactions. And but as we get more apps being built on top of Steam, I list some of my favorites in there. But even just today, I've been looking Let's Eat and some sort of step counter. I have to look at what it was again. Stepping around or something. I think that Steam It is my opinion. I think that Steam It is going to be kind of relegated to as an everything drawer. And we're going to have a whole bunch of different apps that actually don't talk to each other. Even now I'm looking, and with custom JSON, these developers are like the Zapples and the Steep Shots. They're looking to not appear in the feeds on the Steam It. So maybe Steam It will stick around, but I think in the end, we're all going to be very centrally positioned on this nexus of applications.
Yes, Steam It, at this point anyways, does everything that the other front ends, like everything feeds in, it shows everything gets put on the blockchain. I personally would like to see Steam It evolve to the point that I can choose what apps I'd like to see show up on Steam It feed so that I don't have to go and choose all those other apps. But whether we'll see that or not, I don't know.
That's a fantastic idea. Just let us pick. Because I think Zapple is turned off for everyone. We don't see Zapple anymore from Steam It.
Do the Zapples not show up on Steam It?
It was quiet, but I think if you take a look, you'll notice that you're not seeing them anymore.
Interesting. I wonder why they filtered them out unless people were flagging them.
Yeah. Well, I think when you put hours into your post and then you see these 141 character things, it gets a little frustrating.
Well, I actually was using Zapple when it first came out, and in part because it was a kind of a neat way to do a really quick, to the point post. But then when I kind of thought about the fact that I could put a 160 character post up and not pay them the 25% beneficiary, it seemed kind of redundant. So that's when I quit paying it any attention.
I definitely agree with that. That's probably a detail that not everybody notices too. The what is that called? The dev cut.
Yeah, they call it the beneficiary, but that's what it is. It's the dev cut. And I on one hand, I don't begrudge them it because they have put the work into it. But on the other hand, when I can do the same thing on Steam It and not give that cut, then why not?
Right, and if the only innovation is a limitation, then perhaps the cut is a little silly.
Yeah. Okay, Snook says it is still showing up.
Okay, I'm wrong. I heard that was true, but maybe it's not.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, a dev cut would make more sense on DLive or something like that than it would on Zapple.
And interestingly enough, DLive doesn't charge a dev cut. DTube does, and then they don't leave your video up there.
YouTube is a total stinker. That's just my opinion.
That's the Zap that you found?
Yeah, there's a guy that runs a contest on Zapple, and I just went to his page, which is, so you can delete that, but I'm just saying that it's only 20 hours old, and it was in his feed, so.
Oh, okay. And I just noticed that Sarge is not with us today. We'll catch up to that later. Okay, then.
Yeah, his keeping up with the queue is so appreciated, and keeping the Google Docs going too.
It's funny, he was on this morning. Something must have come up. He's got so much going on right now that it's not surprising.
Yeah, he's not having an easy time right now.
No. Sargento. Sarge-who. Okay, and Jan, funny you spoke. You're back up.
This was in English. Maybe not great English, but it's in English and you can read it. So that's a good start. This is about the Hive, and this is 4 active promotions I have going right now, and it's just kind of a bit of a boasting, we're going places type of post to myself. That's basically it, really. It's just promoting the promotions we have going.
So is there any in particular that you want us to take note of?
I think you probably have seen 3 of them before. There's one new one. I just added an SBI scheme, whereas we will accumulate 50 Steam, and if you want an SBI, well, yeah, we will pay half of it, and it just gets both of us a SBI. Some people are taking advantage of it and seeing opportunities in it, and some aren't really paying attention.
Which we're always going to run into.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that. But I've got support there, and it's a continuous, constant support, and things are working out. Probably not as big as I would like to be, but we'll get there eventually.
Right. Progress one step at a time sometimes.
Well, it's, I'm not too sure who, somebody actually made a comment on one of the posts, and the reply was that I'm taking the tortoise and the hare mentality, and I'm being the tortoise. We get there eventually.
Well, I can tell you, Dan, that's how I did Olive Steam It, and it's working pretty well for me.
I've kind of had a tendency to learn things in the same manner. Try things out, see how they go. Works, take another step, see what happens.
Well, I'm kind of working on the thing of that I'll try it, and if it works, I'm going to keep it. If it's not working, I'll change it.
And have you had to change much yet?
I've not had to change what I have done as much. I've had to alter things a little bit, but I've kept the same things of what we started with as our primary. And through that, if you get involved there, well, then we will open up these other promotions to you too. I've structured it that way now, so that it's there's less freeloaders coming in, so to speak, so I have less filtering to do, which makes it much easier and less time consuming.
Yeah.
I'm a freeloader in his group right now.
Are you a freeloader in his group?
Yeah, I am. I haven't had time to be nosy and poke around.
Oh, so how do you freeload in his group?
I'm just there sitting.
Oh, well, in that
Well,
case...
you see, you can't actually freeload because the whole beginning of the group works on that you will vote on other members. It doesn't matter if you vote on the Hive post or not. That's where you're going to get a better correlation from that probably than you will from the other votes. We'd buy a few votes for that, so that boosts up by a few cents just to give everybody a chance of a correlation on that. What actually gives the benefit of the other votes on other promotions we will do is that you are voting on other members' posts. Now, that does not have to be every post, and it does not have to be a 100% vote. It's just as long as you're interacting with the other members and you're helping grow them while they help grow you, we will open up these other opportunities for votes and promotions to you.
And Activist Blog has commented that there's so many people organizing on Steam and he's amazed at the diversity of interests. And that's true. Although thankfully for Discord, or this wouldn't be able to happen.
Well, we don't actually have a primary focus in the group. You can be into crypto or you can be into writing books, music. That doesn't really matter. We're not generic specific. It's kind of like the Pimp Your Post. You can promote any genre you want in any style you want. That's up to you. And we're just pretty much the same. Let it be your own work, and as long as it's your own work, we can go along with that.
Good stuff. Thank you, Jan. And NCAP Barbie, you are up next.
Oh my god, hold on a second. I'm taunting Underground on another server. Give me 1 second.
You mean to tell me Barbie is two-timing us?
It does sound like she's two-timing us. But if she's into taunting, I'm glad she's doing it on another server.
Okay, so I'm gonna get that out of the way. Johnny Clearwater's a dick, and Walden is a serial harasser and plagiarist who had all his delegations pulled because he's a big dick. And I would suggest that I have a theme for the last few weeks, and that is irresponsible use of your voting, especially automated voting. And you should pay attention to that stuff. If somebody is supporting the likes of Walden, I would suggest not supporting that person. But anyway, go read the post. There's like 5 other people here, and they're probably don't want me talking to all of you.
Yeah, the post is self-explanatory for sure. Thank you, NCAP. And DBZ fan for a while. You are up. Yep, he's present. And we'll give him a chance to go. Oh, yes, he's going to do by text.
Yeah, he had to something.
Pardon?
He had to do it by text today, he said before.
Ah, okay. This post is a post-apocalyptic. Why can't I pronounce that word?
Apocalyptic.
Okay. End of the world type of story based off of a nightmare that I had a couple of years ago. It's based off an alien invasion from a species that had attempted to teach the Earth population great advancements. The storyline follows myself and my wife as we play Dodge the Shay. This is only the first part and was submitted as opposed to Nexian's contest. Stay tuned for the second and probably the final part. Apocalyptic. I knew that word. Thank you, DBZ.
I am the worst at pronouncing things. That's why I did it. I'm sorry. It was a joke.
Well, I'm looking at the word and I'm like, you know this word, dummy. Say it. It just wouldn't come to mind. Okay, thank you, DBZ. And that bass guy is next.
Well, hello there. So I finally got some microphone going on. So this is the first time yeah, that I'll present by voice. So let me just drop a link. This one is a song that I actually promoted here last week, but in the meantime, I recorded a playthrough of it with my roommate, and we got some pretty good shots taken. Just to summarize the content of the song, basically, the last couple of weeks have been pretty rough on my thoughts. And the trigger of some sorts was breaking up with a girlfriend, and we've been together and lived together for 3 years, and it all created a storm. So that's why this is the first part of the trilogy of the storms. It represents part of my healing process through music. This song has that dark, ambiguous, sort of unnerving atmosphere, like the calm before the storm. And it's in 19/8 measure, and I hope you'll enjoy it. The next one is going to be a pretty chaotic one, and I'm looking forward to filming that one as well. So that's it from me now. Thank you.
Okay. Trilogy of the Storms. That sounds pretty cool. Hovotang is typing something away there. And now, what's the difference between the pronunciation of eco-instant and eco-instant?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Eco instante.
How do you differ your name from your husband's?
I think just is one letter and the no language. Eco instante is the same thing. The eco instant just it's a Spanish name.
Yeah, so you put it kind of an A-like sound on the end of it. Makes the difference. Okay. You're up. And hopefully, there we go. There's her link. Ooh.
Okay, this is my first post in the United States, and I am so excited to share with you in this nice space. My post is about the nude adventure because it's a new bird in my list. I am talking about the cardinal. This beautiful bird wasn't my goal, one of those goals that you want to take to do. And I was in the yard, my lovely mother-in-law yard, and I was just watching birds and wow, this is one of those, and just run for the camera, and I try to make a nice picture, but this is the adventure.
All right, that is, as far as I'm concerned, an incredible picture of a cardinal.
Thank you.
Well, you've caught it in flight, and it's front and center on the picture. I think that's really well done. Yeah, for sure. Very nice.
You need to be so fast because they are so faster.
As Hobotang says, sometimes it just takes a little luck. And you managed to score that luck. Well done. Artemis North, you are up.
I'm here, just a sec.
Oh, okay.
Oops, I put the wrong one up. Oh well, let's pimp this one.
Which one will we pimp? I don't know. Which one comes up?
I've actually been following this person for a little bit. He's been working with bamboo. At least I think he's a he. Could be a she. He's been working with different ways of creating things with bamboo. This is a little, I guess, a container or a little box that he's made. Another post, he made really nice containers for his paintbrushes, and he painted them, and they're really pretty. So enjoy this post and maybe give him a little love.
And Hobotank says, that's a she.
See, I'm bad. Thank you.
Yes, DJ, you just need to drop the emoji in. Okay. You did? Did I miss you? Ah, you did. Okay, we'll add you to the list now. And Snook, you are up. Oh, Snook.
Were you waiting for me?
Yes. Well, yeah, I did kind of say, hey, Snook, you're up.
Oh, I had my headset off. I was hugging my daughter in the.
Oh, good.
Because she was so, she was very scared in inning.
Oh, she doesn't need to be scared. I haven't bit anybody yet.
I tried to tell her that.
Yeah. Oh, she was afraid she was going to be first?
No, she was afraid. Well, English is her second language.
Uh-huh.
And she gets worried that she is not understood.
Ah.
And
no.
I was.
She did fine.
No. Right. So I was giving her a hug and telling her how good she did. And she's literally jumping up and down in the other room.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I didn't have my headphones on because my other ones weren't working. That's beside the point.
And by the way,
this is
you can also tell her that she now has her PYPT attendee role, so she'll be typing in blue like everybody else.
Yay! She graduated.
Okay.
Okay. She's very excited. It's great. Okay, this is a U-Log I did, and it was supposed to be like a really short for part of Surpassing Google's contest that he was writing, or that he has going on right now. But which the link is actually in this post. But typical me, I think it's like 20 minutes long of rambling, which does not make the contest. But if you get past the first minute and a half, I go on about some things that we've kind of been dealing with here in the last week, and it's just about family and how everybody needs a home, needs a place to be able to call home. So if you, like I said, if you get just skip past the first 2 minutes of it, and it's just life lessons that I think are good to just listen to and go, yeah, you're right. Not saying I'm always right, but I'm just to rethink and realize that what you have is actually pretty special. Just a reminder.
Well, it's always good to have a reminder.
Yeah, it is.
So you're kind of competing with Catweasel on following instructions, are you?
I don't. I think that's obvious.
Catweasel always puts his own spin on anything.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he scares me when he actually follows the program.
Well, yes. I really, I'm kind of known. Most people know that I don't read any rules. It's amazing when I do.
Mm-hmm. And even more amazing when you follow them?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. Then you know something's not right if I actually follow rules.
Okay, in that case, although you've managed to follow them over here.
Well, but your rules are just to have manners. I do that anyway.
Yeah, and I don't require pants either.
Right.
Have you lost the feed on DLive? Let me have a look. I'm seeing it there. I'm seeing it. Yeah, I'm seeing it there. My voice just showed up on the screen. And hello, Salt and Pepper.
Oh, let's see, it's offline.
Are you looking at the second feed or the first one? Yeah, I don't think he's in here to hear me. So we had to restart, refresh, and try again. Yeah, coming into voice channel would be good too. That's probably what it is. He's looking at the first feed going, where the hell is it?
Can you change the first feed, go in and edit it and say, please see next post?
Well, the second feed says Pimp Your Post Thursday, July 5th, second start.
Oh, man.
Or maybe I'll give him that link. There. That might clear things up there. Okay.
Salt and Pepper was one of the very first people I ever started following on Steam.
He does some really cool posts. It's too bad he doesn't come in and share some of them with us. And Unicornia, you are up. I need to update the queue here.
I am actually presenting for Unicornia this morning.
Okay.
She has a fashion event in her area, and she is one of the organizers, and so she is actually in a meeting right now. But I will drop her post. There's another initiative on Steemit called the Cosmic Pill, which is very similar, I guess you could say, to a U-log, in that you let people know who you are in tiny doses, like a little pill. I don't know, I can't remember who started it or whether it came before or after the U-log initiative, but anyway. So she says here that she wrote a cosmic pill, and then Mikan, the cat, who is owned by another Steemian, wanted to make her special feature on Steemit and tell us her secrets to be happy. Everybody knows that cats have the secrets of happiness. It's a scientific fact. So a cat's advice is way better than a magical human's advice, right? And then she says, don't judge me for listening to a cat, please. But her post is I think it's a very delightful little romp into generic advice about being curious and about don't sweat the small stuff, just, be happy with what's going on. And I think it's really cute. She's got a lot of pictures of kitty cats in there and then has the advice beneath. And I think it is a really, really cool take on giving advice. So everybody check out Unicornia's posts. All of her posts are usually delightful in some way, shape, or form. So it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
And she's a regular attendee here, so we need to support her, even if she's in a meeting this morning. So
I quite agree. And she's very creative. Always interesting to have a look, see what she's done this round. It is a really cool idea, actually.
And if anybody else needs something to post about, consider doing the Cosmic Pill Challenge, even if you're doing U-logs or something. That would be another idea.
Those cat pictures she's got are cute. One of my cats got into the announcement post this morning for PYPT.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Well, as I was writing it, I happened to look over, and she looked like she was waiting for the show to start. So I'm just going to drop that picture in there. Right there. There's a little table.
Oh, that's so cute.
As the table my second monitor sits on, and she's literally hanging over the edge of it. She can be a little nuts sometimes.
She's a pretty kitty, though.
Yeah, when she's not being mouthy. Okay, D-Joy, you are back up. And we're just waiting for her to hear me and type. D-Joy? D-Joy. I don't see any. There we go. Okay, come on and tell us about this.
Okay. The post is okay. For a while I was writing about exes. I think I shared one of the poems with in the last CYPT show, and this time I wrote. I had a discussion. I was in a discussion with some people in another server. So I got something had been going through my head about heartbreaks. I believe that most times heartbreaks could be avoided. So, and I also believe that sometimes the reason we get really, really heartbroken is because of some things we did and we knew we could have avoided while we were dating the person. So that is what the post is about. I listed some things like giving too much too soon, or giving what you can afford, or not setting your priorities right, or living in a self-created bubble. And I talked about at least I talked a little about these things, and I just believe that if we do these things, I can't say that we can eliminate heartbreak, but I know that many things we do, it is because we ignored some signs, or that is why most times we get heartbroken. So the post is about talking about heartbreak and some things I think we could do to avoid getting heartbroken.
All right. That's interesting leaf you've shown there. Very nice way to depict it. I know it comes from Pixabay, but nonetheless, you selected it.
Yeah, thanks.
Salt and Pepper, you're welcome to present a post and just put some written text with it that I can read out for you. That's okay. All right. Thank you, D-Joy. And Artemis North.
Here we go. There's the right link. Yay, the Ultimate Crochet Contest has winners. And I think they picked some really good ones this week. Anyone that doesn't know, it's a tag called Ultimate Crochet. And you can submit your projects to Foxy Spirit or Anjkara. And I think this is a wonderful contest, and they've really been bringing a lot more people out of the woodwork. So I hope you go and share some love with them and their winners. And just for anyone that is involved, they're going to be taking a 1 week break. So the contest will start up again in another week.
And what Artemis North did not comment on is that she sponsors part of the prize. And
Well,
go ahead.
I said, well, you don't really have to mention that.
I just did. And the other thing I have not commented on is, and a few people have seen it, in the giveaway channel, there is a giveaway running. It has 1 hour and 6 minutes left. And I see a name on there called Cheryl Davis, but I don't see a Cheryl Davis in the channel. So if that person won, they're going to be disappointed because they're not in the channel. They have to be present. Hobotang rubs hands together slowly. And Cap, you're up.
Okay, I'm doing it.
She's doing it. Woo. Yes. Or Hobotang. Bluefin can't. He's not here.
Okay, so regarding Walden, that post was pretty great too. Please go read it and give it some upvotes.
Ah, right.
His like sock account flagged a bunch of people, which kind of doesn't matter, and I wouldn't go waste boat power flagging them. But just notably, yeah, Walden had all his delegations removed, so pretty much anybody who's been around the Steam blockchain for more than a week or two could completely nuke his account.
Okay. Thank you, NCAP. And next up is Hobotang.
Oh, I'm not.
Pardon?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I'm not saying go nuke his account. I'm also not saying don't go nuke his account.
Okay. And there we go. Hobotang be up.
Can everybody hear me all right?
I can hear you.
Hello? Oh, okay. This is a post from a couple days ago. It's one I'm pretty proud of. It's a series I started actually to do some Alliance homework that I wasn't very excited about, but I had a lot of fun writing about that I've got lying around the house. This one being my favorite one, and go check it out. If you're into film photography, I learned a little lesson about my cameras, all being Japanese cameras. Got a couple cool blurbs in there. Check it out. Thanks.
Yeah, that post is awesome. I definitely checked it out, and I'm a pretty novice photographer.
So, something that we would like you to remember, I know voting power can really get beat up on in Pimp Your Post Thursday. Don't forget leaving a thoughtful message to let people know that, yes, you saw it and, that it was shared on Pimp Your Post Thursday. You saw it and you read it. This is a good thing. ANCAP, does that mean you're going to do 2 posts together, or you just forgot?
Oh, no, sorry, I didn't. Okay, no, just one.
Yeah, and note about that's something that's really special about this post too. Connected with it, it's worth a read as well. Leave one. I'll respond.
Yes, reading it and giving, you've got to read it in order to give a thoughtful message, comment. And I think that's really important that people are able to get their work read, so that you start to develop an idea of who this person is and what they're writing about, so that when you see their post come up, you go, oh, I like that writing, I'm going to go read it. Thank you, Hobotang. And Movement, you are up.
Oh my, that came up quick. How you doing?
Not bad. Yourself?
Honestly, better. Well, I guess I haven't been in this channel this week yet, but for some of you that have been following along, I've been having a situation, one of those, how life has its ups and downs, and so right now my family's going through one of those downs, or has been going through it, but we're on our way back up. And so I made a post today. Before I share it, like, one of the things I intended to do, I've been trying to keep my blog somewhat uniform and serial in doing the weekly shows, some of them talk shows, some of them music, and then like the weekly writing, the Flu Shot one that I do where I curate. And sometimes I do a little bit extra stuff and post some goodies and music and videos and things like that. But one of the things I intended to do was to do more talking head videos on my blog of myself, talking instead of just writing, because I like to do both. And so, unfortunately, what prompted me to start doing that now all of a sudden is a very negative situation, a very serious situation going on in mine and my wife's life. And so the other day I posted the first video as sort of an SOS to the Steemit community to do a fundraising for something specific, and you'll be able to watch it. I won't take too much time and get into it because I've been kind of going over and over again like a dead horse. So let me share this post real quick. This is the new one I made today. And so things, this one, oh crikey, the URL has a terrible spelling in it, but sorry about that. Yeah, usually
fumble fingers.
You know what? I'm usually really careful and meticulous. I know you've seen my blogs, and I'm very good with SEO. But this week I'm kind of in crunch time and double time to do like fundraising for something specific. Basically, my wife and I have to move sooner than later from where we're living. Long story short, you can go back later when you have time and look at the videos or message me. I'm an open book about it. Our finances are somewhat sticky. We're not terribly broke, but we need some finances to finish to be able to move from here. In a very uncomfortable kind of shitty situation. Excuse my language. It's just what it is. But the video today is more positive. I went through some of the pain, and my wife and I together, and yesterday we kind of took a mental health day, a spiritual day for ourselves, her and I together, and I think we're doing much better. I'm going to speak for myself right now because she's not home, but I'm definitely doing much, much better. A lot of Steemians have definitely stepped up, a couple of my friends outside of Steemit, and so just the money aspect of it, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's unfortunate when money isn't the answer to like the root of life's problems, but it's sometimes a very necessary tool to mitigate the problems that are going on at the present moment. So unfortunately, that's where I'm at. And again, I am in great spirits, and I think that if we all pull together like a community, like I've seen many people do, then definitely I've seen other Steemians get through some very difficult times, and it's what prompted me to kind of go this direction.
Yes, that's one of the strengths that's been on this platform, is particularly when a Steemian has been active and involved in the community. When it's needed, the community comes through.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it for everything from a broken tablet to life and death surgery. I've seen it happen here on Steemit in my short 6 months here, and it did take some humbling and some grown up attitude to kind of admit, where I went wrong and that I need help. But I'm at that point in my life. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, even at the best of times, well, actually, it's not the best of times, it's the worst of times, and it's good to know that there's somewhere that you can appeal to.
For sure. So again, it's a lot, and I don't want to take too much of your time. I see you got a big audience as usual. I love you guys. It's great to be here, and just these little things throughout the week really do make a difference in my life in a way that social media definitely didn't.
Activist has made a good point. It's better to be able to ask than to feel like you need to take.
True that. I like Activist Blog. I follow you. Very, very good words.
Yeah, very true. Okay, thank you, Movement, and I hope things are going to work out for you. Well, I think it will. It's just a matter of how soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The Kitty Girl, you are up.
Hello again, everyone. Well, we were talking about Salt and Pepper a while ago when he popped in and let us know the DLive feed was down. Yeah, he's one of the first people that I ever followed when I came to Steemit. He writes a good blog, and I wish he would present more of his stuff in here. Maybe we can twist his arm and help him get set up with talking on Discord. But anyway, I've got another one of my old barn posts to share today. and it's partly because of Salt and Pepper that I've got those to share. Um, I have so many interests, crystals and pretty stones and flowers and poetry and art and everything else that I posted a couple of old barn pictures a long time ago on Steemit, and then I kind of forgot about them and got off onto the flowers and crystals and things. And one day he left a comment on one of my posts and said, "Hey, when are you going to post more barns?" So that kind of got me started again. That's why the old barn project has kind of resurfaced here on the blockchain. Um, this is one of my favorite barns, although I hate to pick a favorite among barns, but I think this one is really, really pretty. And it's got a kind of a sentimental significance to it too. Years ago, my mother got into a situation that where she was terminal. She was going to die if something didn't change. And so she was placed into hospice care in a specialized hospice facility called the hospice house. And it was 45 minutes away from where I was caring for my elderly father. And he was insistent on seeing her every single day, which I thought was a beautiful, wonderful thing. And so we drove the 45 minutes every day, spent a few hours visiting with her in the hospice facility, and then we drove back. And fortunately, after a couple of weeks, the hospice care encouraged her to rebound and begin eating and drinking again, which she had stopped doing. So she recovered and was discharged, but we passed this barn every single day on the way to visit her. And so that's why this barn kind of has some special significance for me. I'll probably write a little bit more about my mother's situation in a future post because this exact scenario repeated 2 or 3 times over the years. But anyway, one of the things about this barn that I highlighted in the post is how the structure of some barns and old churches and schools were done. They put the siding horizontal instead of vertical, and they tucked the top of each board underneath the board up above it so that they kind of overlapped. And that allowed the rain to wash down the side of the building instead of seeping into cracks and things. And that style of construction is called clapboard. And I actually snagged a picture from a website that specializes in siding and put that in there so you can kind of see better how it is constructed. But so anyway, yeah, another pretty barn. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, kitty girl. And Sarge has arrived. Good to see you, Sarge. I hope everything's okay. Okay. And Salt and Pepper's typing. Salt and Pepper noticed. He might have been DMing, but Sarge, I see you lit up, but I'm not hearing you. You might.
I like Hobatang's comment when I mentioned about showing favoritism to the barns. He said the key is not to show your favoritism in front of the barns.
This is very true. Sarge, you're lit up.
No, that wasn't me.
You're welcome, and thank you for that. You're lit up, but I'm not hearing any voice. You may want to drop out and come back in. And NCAP, you are up. That was Eco Instant that said that, kitty girl.
Oh, yes. Okay. Eco Instant. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Shadow's Post never pimps her own posts, and you should all go show her some love for the latest one for this Pimp Your Post Thursday. That is all.
Thank you, NCAP. And there's this area has joined us as well. We got folks that are shaking off the July 4th blues. Oh, is it not set up for you, Sarge? Just let me change it. And edit. Okay, you should be good to go now. Sorry about that. Now we know Sarge's full name. Okay, and that was NCAP. Eco Instant, you are up. And he's got it. And Yadeth is with us as well. Just waiting on Eco Instant to drop his tag in there. There we go. And come on and tell us about it. There he is. No, he lit up. Okay, it must be me. Hang on.
For what it's worth, I can hear you okay.
Okay, so it's not me. So Eco's having some problems with his voice connection. And Sarge, for some reason, is full on, but nobody's echoing through him, so I guess he's okay. And Yidna says she's trying to
Hello.
There we go. Here he is.
All right, I'm in with Snook.
Okay.
So I shared that link a little higher up, right?
Yeah, you did. Steam it and
Great.
selfies to the rescue.
So this is a post by Papa Pepper. I don't know if you guys, he's pretty prolific. I have trouble keeping up with about half of his posts, but every once in a while he's got some really good stuff. I actually think he's probably more than once in a while. Every once in a while I catch some of his really good stuff. And this post is about a package that we sent him, and the package is nice, but inside is a really personal note that we wrote him about an experience that we had. If you don't know, he had a selfie contest at the end of last year that Eco Instante and I participated in. And near the end of the contest, there was 10 of us left, Eco Instante and I and 8 other participants. And Steam dollars shot up to like $8 or $10 and $12 a share. And because we had over 1,000 Steam dollars in the prize pool, $1,000 became $10,000 almost overnight. And the whole group agreed to split the prizes. And well, I'll let you guys check out the video if that interests you. That changed our life in interesting ways. So we were just trying to give back to Papa Pepper and let him know how that had affected us. And so I wanted to share that with you guys.
Great stuff. Thank you, Eco. Yeah, Papa Pepper's been on the platform for, he's got to be getting up on 2 years now. If not already past it.
And he, like some other, he's a dolphin, like some other prominent users, in his own way tries to do things that get people involved. And he was one of the first dolphins, I guess, that I followed and kind of learned what is it that we're trying to do here on this platform.
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Artemis, you are up.
Wow, there's so many good posts today. It seems like I just have had my turn. This is another artist that I follow, and I missed this post last week. She's done truly a free-form piece of art about, and it's supposed to be Mother Nature or Gaia. And, oh, I just brain farted. Sorry, guys.
Does that smell? Oh, I can't
Does it
smell it
smell?
anyways.
No, you're lucky. You're over there and I'm here. Actually, this person I've been following for a while. She does some amazing jewelry. But this is something different to me. And what she's done is she started with the face. And then true to freeform, she just started adding elements until everything came together the way that she wanted to see it. I think she's really a talented artist. And if you look down in the comments, you'll see another similar piece that she's done. So I hope you guys will go and share your thoughts and give her some love.
Yeah, and that's it. Hit the 6-day mark. So if nothing else, leave a comment. Yeah, those are beautiful pictures. You need to get her into Creative's Coffee.
Yes, that's a good idea. I'll have to bug her and see if she's on Discord.
Yeah, I'll bet you she's got some decent stuff to share.
Her jewelry work is phenomenal. If you want to go explore her blog, you'll see some beautiful pieces.
That's one to keep on your bookmarks.
I just checked. She is not on Discord, at least not under the name Star Jewel.
Thanks, kitty girl.
Well, maybe you can encourage her to. Thanks, Artemis. And Yidneth, you are up. And I know she's here. She's probably checking for her link. And there's Samus is going to present at some point. Yeah, sock it to us. Anybody didn't notice, Yidneth was talking about having a pile of socks that she was matching up. I solve that by buying socks that are all the same. I never have different socks, so I can match them pretty easy. No, we can't hear you. You are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Yay. So I was about to share one post, but because Cesaria is here, I'm going to change. So just a sec.
Okay. Ooh, special for Azaria. And Artemis solves the sock problem by not wearing them once the snow is gone. And trust me, she doesn't. Sometimes she doesn't even wear shoes.
Okay. So yeah, I was presenting a post about Dandelions, maybe the second round, but just because I saw Isaria here online, it was a quick change. And I want to say thanks to her because she bought my CD. She and Shane bought my CD, and I made this hand-drawn card for her. And I know it's not an accurate portrait. It was more like drawing on the go, watching a couple of her pictures. So it's more intended to be like a thank you note and a cartoon version of herself. But since I joined the Steemit, I think first of all, I think Serena found me here in Steam because of her curation music post, which was my first ever feature on a Steemit. And I fell in love with her music. I still have a problem with Descent, her song, because it got stuck in my head. And it's me and my partner, Hector. Sometimes we get with the on and on and on, and it's just like, oh, there it is again. It's just like that. I mean, that it's there, it got there, and it's now intricating in our brains. And I have, that I have like a tendency to like haunting spectral music, and half of my music is very ghostly. So when I find music that dwells in the same realm, I feel like less alone in the world. Like I mean, I know this astral silvery thread and where it leads to. And it was just like a little sketch and a little doodle sent by those old-fashioned romantic things that are letters. Because I actually still love letters and being pen pals and things like that. I keep in touch with quite a few friends all over the world, and when they're special, I like to do just like little cards for them, and that's it. The post is really simple. It's just a drawing and a little shout out to Isari's talent, and that's it. And I'll queue for the other intended post to see if there's a chance to present it. But the meaning of the post is also to show Isari's support, who is sharing lots of new songs lately, and so you know her.
All right. And if that's a cartoon, Yidneth, I'd hate to see when you're doing serious illustration. That is really a good work.
Well, my problem with when I paint is that, for example, to make this drawing, I can take half an hour, and there are some drawings of mine that I take 1 week. And I'm not a very patient person, so when I start to paint them in color, sometimes I get lost with the little tiny details, and I have like such a huge collections of maybe a little bit more realistic drawings unfinished because of that. That is sort of like when I go and doodle and I don't think about what I'm doing. It's like yes, I'm self-taught both in music and in arts. I'm a scientist. I'm a biologist actually. So you know this story, right? That a genetic engineer going rat lover afterwards. That was a story.
And Isaria's commented that she loved your handwritten letter, and we have to be aware of the fact that handwriting is becoming a dying art since it's not being taught anymore. Thank you, Yidneth. And I'm just going to take a moment to draw your attention to, there's been a few changes going on in the Steam at Ramble, and they're kind of around the building of Rambling Radio, which is, some of you may have seen earlier this week, I posted a post about the shows that Rambling Radio has. So there's now a channel in this section just up above where the voice chat is, text is. One is called the Rambling Radio Show Posts, and that's where we're going to keep the schedules for the radio shows, both here in the Ramble and the one that Pensive produces every week, along with announcement and recordings of the shows that we're doing here. And Snook spoke earlier about her podcast, which I think she did a phenomenal job on. So there's a channel there for her to put her episodes in because she doesn't broadcast them live. So those are things that you want to keep an eye on here to know what's going on here in the Rambling Radio inside the Steam at Ramble. And speaking of which, it looks as though Artemis has dropped that link in there for the Curation Corner. Were you taking a turn there, Artemis? Because Snook actually is next.
No, I wasn't actually.
Why don't you go back into the queue and do that? Oh, I see what you're doing. Yes, Yidneth, that is the new show, Curation Corner, which somebody said something. Oh, it was Movement earlier said about making a mistake in the title. If you take a look at that URL, when I originally posted the show, I dropped the C off of Curation and had to go back in and edit it. Okay, Snook, you are up.
Alright, you know you're gonna make me cry.
Yep, Shadows Pup made you do it.
Okay, this is Sim Girl wrote there was a 50-day long free write contest where you had to take a selfie and write a story, and the selfie had to it was a representation of the story that you wrote. And Sim Girl did, on the weekends, there's a longer weekend free write story that you do. And this story really turned out great. It's funny, it makes you think, and it just shows her humor and everything about her writing. So I wanted to make sure that people saw it because it's definitely worth a read. And and yes, there was some editing definitely done on this story. So it's not a college free write thing. So, but I did want to say that.
Okay.
And I want to say that thank you, Shadows. And we already talked about that this morning, so I won't say anything more.
Yes, ma'am. I got heck when Snook got up, but it was good heck. That's the most interesting selfie I've ever seen. Hobotang has commented.
Yeah, it was actually kind of neat because the selfie rules were very lax because you had to write a post, and so you could use your face on different things. And there was one lady that, like, her first selfie was just of her chest. She's also a really good writer. And so then all 50 selfies had to have her chest in it. And like one lady just had her hand. So all 50 selfies had to have her hand in it. And the lady with the chest, it was really interesting how she would get the prompt in there, with it. So it was a really, if you have a minute, it was done at the Free Write House. And it was really an interesting thing to watch the selfies and how people really got creative with them.
It is, for sure. Thank you, Snook.
You're welcome.
And Engine Witty, behave. Samus, you are up. And I think he's still here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Just a minute, please.
Okay.
Yeah, good evening. Good day.
Apparently Bug has a new acronym. We don't do LMAO, we do laughing my tush off. LMTO. Bug likes to go against the grain. Every now and again he's got to do things differently just so we know he's there. Aha! And Azaria's going to do laughing my butt off. You heard it first on PYPT. And we're just waiting on Samus to come up with his link and then come and tell us about it. We heard it here first, for sure, Azaria. Snook's going to put us on speakers. Now we really know we've hit the big time.
Yes.
I do maybe laugh at your butt, but I get too many slaps, as you should. Come on, Samus. Where's your link? I'm going to give him another minute or so. And then
Sorry, I'm dropping it now.
Good. And there he's typing. There we go. Okay. Tell us about your post.
Okay. The earlier of today, I tried to do some study about what I've been doing on Steemit, and there was some inspiration that came to me looking at how far I've gone on the platform, and is on the area of creation of editing of images, and also some artwork. Although I don't really know how to draw, I learned everything on Steemit. So looking at that habit I have created on the platform, all my post has been on the images I uploaded is the one I edited myself, and also I create them and generated them by myself. So with these earlier hour this morning, and looking at questions that some of my followers has been asking, I try to come out with uh, a short piece about an habit, how you can form an habit, a new habit, and I try to drop some point that will guide the followers and anyone that look at the article. So it's all about how you can develop a new habit by yourself, and when you develop it, how you can sustain it uh, and make it big, and people see, and they will think that is part of you before, and not knowing that you develop it, and you discovered it, and then you develop it. So I first mentioned that the first thing you need to do is to identify that new habit, and when you identify it, then you can be able to work on it by activating it, and then when you activate it, the best thing to do now is to reflect it, let it show from inside of you, and when people see you with everything you do, everything you maybe everything you do, when they see you, they already know uh, the habit is part of you. It has become your character. It has become you. It has become your behavior. So that's just what I put together, and I drop it earlier of today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Samus. Well done. I've somehow managed to drop Yidnith in two spots, so I'm going to have Activist go next and Yidnith follow, mainly because I don't think Activist has actually had a turn today.
And Yidnith is putting a kettle on anyway, so.
Well, there we go. Perfect timing. Okay, Activist, go ahead. Actually, he's already dropped the link. He's right on the bit.
This post is another in sort of I don't know how to say it, a United States malcontent theme, and really it just talks about how we're really more alike than we're unalike. So while the U.S. is steadily moving towards class warfare, and some even say civil war, really we're more alike than unalike.
Yeah, oftentimes if we really sat down and talked openly and respectfully, we wouldn't be as far apart as a lot of people think they are. The biggest problem is actually listening and responding respectfully.
It's challenging being someone who's brought up in the South to really believe in these concepts of liberty and justice, just to see the direction things are going. And that's kind of what I talk about in the post.
All right. Thank you, Activist. And yes, good morning, Engine. And he thinks he's either morning, afternoon, or evening. He hasn't quite decided which. He just covered it all.
In some part of the world, it's got to be that part of the day, right?
And that it is. All right. And Yidnith, are you back? She maybe still... No, I see her lit up, but I'm not hearing her. Okay, she's making an adjustment.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
So drop in the link. By the way, I haven't paired a single pair of socks since I told you. So this post is about dandelions, and there is a color challenge, but which I take as an excuse to make random posts about things. But it's just an excuse. The post is longer, and it's I think it has a meaning beyond the color challenge itself. I've made a series of posts that is called the Blooming series, like a Longing to Bloom. At the end of the article, you can see links back to them. And this time I dedicated this post to the very underrated small dandelion that is usually taken as a weed, like a unwanted weed growing. But it has lots of meaning and a beautiful meaning, actually. And it has also a purpose and many properties as well. But for me, the dandelions are among my favorite flowers. And at the end of the post, you will see how the post will shift into something personal. I actually have a recurrent dream that I go to a dandelion field because my dog used to love to run in a dandelion field, and there is a brain picture of my dog that always stayed of my dog running free and happily in a dandelion field, and I shared a picture at the end. So I usually dream of this field, and I go there and I meet with my animal companions, and it's weird because whenever I dream of that place, I know that I'm dreaming, and I try to chase them, and they escape from me, and I know that they're gone, and that is like a lucid dream that my brain builds. But that is my little heaven on earth, that dandelion field of that common weed, just like that, those common flowers. And actually, the meaning of the dandelion is faithfulness to someone you love. So I can see how couldn't it be more fitting. And also about your inner child, about nostalgia, about innocence. So if you find a dandelion field, whenever I find one for real, like in those pictures, I go barefoot and I run and I and I dance and I spin and I try to to acknowledge the happiness that I shared with my dog all those years back. So it is just like on one hand it's about the flower and the properties, but the post itself turned into something that is more about me. And no, I will write about poppies because I write about almost every single flower, but this is about the underrated small dandelion.
So, Bug commented that no dandelions were harmed in the making of this post, which is true because she did tell us that she goes barefoot in that field. So socks are safe.
Yeah, I didn't even collect for a garland. I usually like the flowers living. I'm not if you can gift me a book, and there is actually a painting that I made along a pressed dandelion that I took from the field that my dog used to run in. It's a very emotional post at the end. But yes, I don't like to pick flowers really. I like them living on the fields, and they're early blooms, so they're very important for the bees. And actually, I got a comment from Bluefin Studio that he had shared a post himself about the dandelions and the importance of dandelions for bees yesterday. So we were just like thinking in there.
He actually did. It was something with a title in something along the bee's knees, and he talked about how he tries to preserve the dandelions so that the bees actually can get to them.
So yeah, officially yesterday was Dandelion Appreciation Day.
Apparently. Yeah, I had seen that post yesterday morning. And Engine says, don't want my feet walking through there. Can't say they wouldn't be harmed. And Sarge is thinking of dandelion wine, dandelion salad, and that they're his second favorite weed.
Notice the emphasis on weed.
Darrow's next says, of course there's a cute rat to punctuate the post. And yeah, we did notice the weed mention. Bee's knees hold the honey. Bee's knees is rhyming slang for money too. Okay, thank you, Yidneth. And Activist Blog commented while Yidneth was talking that he actually shared a link that he wasn't intending to share. Well, I think he's already shared it actually. So now go with the one you intended to talk about. And just remind us what this is about again.
It's just talking a little bit about how, as one of the Civil War liberals, so-called, just feeling a little disenfranchised, and how we're really more alike than unalike is the bottom line. It's just that as people, we have common interests and we share common needs, and even though we might be polarized at the moment, we're more the same than unalike.
That's an interesting sign there. If the climate were a bank, it would have been saved. There's a lot of truth to that. Okay, thank you, activist. The kitty girl, you are up.
Well, I'm actually coming back into the queue not to share one of my posts, but to share someone else's. Thinking about Sultan Papper a while ago said that he couldn't present a post because he's slightly engaged in another activity at the moment. Plus, he's never gotten his Discord set up for talking. I thought I would share one of his posts for him. He doesn't know I'm doing this, and I may even not be picking the same post he would share if he were doing it himself, but here goes. Yeah, I've been following this gentleman since I came on to Steemit. He was one of the very first people I followed, and I personally think that he does a really good blog. He writes almost every single day, and he posts about the same time every day. His posts are just all over the board, though. Sometimes he talks a little bit about politics, which isn't really my favorite topic. I actually, to be honest, skip a lot of political posts on Steemit, but I do take a peek at some of his. But definitely when he writes about family and barbecue and all these other things, I really, really eat up his posts. But Sultan Papper, the reason I like him is that he's down to earth. I expect if I ever met him in person, I would meet the exact same person who's writing this blog. He seems to be writing in a very non-pretentious manner. He is very down to earth. He responds to people in comments, and he's got some very unique observations on life. This particular post I've put up, like I said, I don't know if that would be the one he would share if he were to share one, but he's musing about the 4th of July holiday that we had yesterday, Independence Day in America, and how we have gotten ourselves into a lot of trouble by some of the laws and our interpretation of them that we have done. And he said that we would probably have the founding fathers rolling over in their graves with some of the changes that we've made, which I think is absolutely true. But anyway, his post is a very interesting musing, and I would advise you checking out his blog. He writes, he's written in the past about how one of his daughters dressed up as a sloth recently for a local event and had a picture of her in the costume. It was so cute. And he also has taught his daughters how to refinish furniture. He travels for his job, so he's always talking about some of the small towns near him, including pictures and some history. He's a big fan of barbecue. He reviews barbecue places near him. It's just very endearing and charming blogs. I love it. So yeah, please go check out Sultan Papper. Give him a little love on one of his current posts, if not the one I posted, one of the others, and that's awesome. And hopefully one day we will have him set up for talking on Discord, and we can actually hear his lovely voice. And I guess that's it.
I can't disagree with anything you've said because everything you've said is absolutely dead on. In a lot of ways, Salt and Pepper has been doing U-Logs since he came onto the platform, because to a large degree, what he's doing is a journal of his life. And
that is absolutely true, yes. He could have been the founder of U-Logs.
For sure. And yes, I certainly hope that at some point we get you on to present one of your own posts and tell us about it, because I think it would be really interesting. Thank you, kitty girl. I can't get Snook video off my head. U-Log, cause you U-Log. Okay. Thank you. And Artemis North, you are up next.
Look at the look on that little baby's face. A Panama mama, not to be mistaken for Panama mama. I've been following her journey making this quilt for her beautiful little niece, Gwen. And I want to share this post because it just reinforces the joy that we give to people when we make things from the heart and we give them to them. This is going to be a treasured quilt for many years to come. And I just want to remind everybody, no matter what art you're creating, of the joy that you give to everyone else.
Daryl's next says, I love that quilt. The kid's cute too. And Injun says, thought that was a variation of Twister. Trust Injun. Of course, he's kind of dating himself. That Twister game's been around for quite a while. That is a beautifully done quilt, though.
Yeah, it is pretty. I like it.
Yeah. Katrina says someone made my kids a quilt when I was pregnant thinking I was only having one, and we loved the quilt. I can remember one that was made for Artemis, and as I recall, by the time she gave it up, it was falling apart. Yup. Okay. And Ingenuity, I should say, you are up next.
Yay! Rubbing off. How's everybody doing this morning?
We're here. And by the way, at one point this morning, we had 20 people watching the D Live, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah. It's dropped down to 9 right now, but that was kind of neat to look over and see 20 watching.
Okay, here's my post. I don't think this guy gets enough attention as a witness. He's over in India. He does a lot for India United. In fact, he's one of the founders. His name's Jatin Hoda. He's also an alliance witness. And a few nights ago, when the blockchain froze and everybody was going through withdrawals, I stayed up till about 6 o'clock in the morning with him and a few others. So it was very interesting, and he got his to work right away. I couldn't get mine to work. I don't know why. So I was over at Steam Chat asking questions and talked to a few people and still couldn't get it going. I ended up having to do a replay, which takes, with my internet connection, about 6 hours to do, and I missed a few more blocks. Wasn't I intended, since I was there and waiting for it and live with everybody, but it just, yeah. He got his to work right away and kind of gave me some motivation as I was tired, so I was just like, thanks, but he's always there when I have a question. I really respect and like the guy. He's one of the nicest people I've met, so go show him a little support. If you have an extra witness vote, please consider him. Heck of a guy.
And if anybody's in here that was voting for Jerry Banfield, I won't embarrass you by asking you to identify yourself, but he's disabled as witness, so that frees up a vote. Because you removed that one.
Yeah, I actually watched that video too yesterday, and I didn't even know he had a kid, that little baby on his chest that he was carrying around. He got a new respect for me for that. I mean, I don't vote for him or anything, but I do kind of follow him and am curious what he has to say. And with the baby on his chest, I was like, wow, cool.
Katrina has commented that OCD witnesses also disabled their witness.
And Netuoso's not back up either. I don't know what he's doing. But
Azaria said that Banfield's wife just had the baby. Congratulations on the child. My condolences on having Banfield for a husband. Whoops, did I say that out? Okay, thank you, Engine. Daryl's next. You are up.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, I'm at my parents' house up in Northern California, so I don't know how good this connection is, but yeah. So here's my pose.
And it's good to see you. I know you've been busy.
Yeah, it's been an interesting spring for sure. But anyways, I have taken a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm back. I'm back on track, and here's my My summer update, just kind of updating my schedule a little bit. I was every week, but now I'm going to be every 2 weeks for a couple of reasons. And I explain a little bit in the vlog, but yeah, go check that out, I guess. I got some fun stuff happening. I finished that music video with all the paint, so definitely go watch that. And then I made a silly trailer for another creation, which I won't give away too much, but that is also a fun little addition to my creative family.
It's always good to have additions, eh?
Well, we're pretty excited.
Good stuff. Thank you, Darishnik. And Katrina said something about going for the kids. Is she back? Maybe not. Okay. We'll have Artemis go ahead and give Katrina a chance to deal with whatever she was dealing with the youngsters.
They probably want some breakfast. Mom, I'm hungry.
The nerve of them.
What do you have to feed kids? Sorry.
Every once in a while, otherwise they kind of shrivel and wilt.
Well, this is my post. Just a little, the first parts are just a little run day of how my husband and I spent Canada Day with our grandson. And the last part is what happens when you have three weird women in a chat channel talking about being addicted to Steam. So I decided it was time that we wrote up a 12-step program for us that are addicted to Steam.
Yes.
I love that post.
Snook, do we resemble that remark? Okay, not at all. So, Artemis, why don't you tell us what these 12 steps are?
Well, the first step is that we admit we are powerless over Steam, that our homes have become unmanageable. And the second one is we come to believe that a hard fork is greater than ourselves and could restore us to sanity. The third one is make a decision to turn our will and our sanity over to the care of Catweasel, as he is a doctor. 4, we make a searching and fearless curation of ourselves. 5, we will admit to the Steam community, to ourselves, and to ANCAT Barbie the exact nature of our shitposts. We are entirely ready to have Ulog Snookian remove all of these defects of character. And 7, we humbly ask her to prohibit our tight-assed ways. 8, we will make a list of persons we've flagged and become willing to do it again. 9, we will make direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would really piss us off. 10, we will continue to post and pray for a Curie. And 11, we will seek through Discord to improve our conscious contact with Steamians as we understand the community, searching only for self-aggrandizement, PYPT and top of the line. And 12, if all else fails, get shit-faced, not two-faced. And just a little note, when the blockchain is frozen, continuously hitting refresh will not fix it.
No?
And yes, you did, Snook.
That was so great. That was absolutely the greatest post.
Yeah, the shit-faced part was kind of Shadows. The not two-faced was definitely Artemis.
That cracks me up. I love it.
There was a lot of laughs when on putting those together.
Yes, there was. A lot.
Thank you, Artemis. And Katrina, are you back? Yeah, the kids have demanded attention. Sergeant Dan, you take a turn.
Can you hear me?
We can, except we've already had this one. ANCAP pimped this first thing.
Well, I don't care. I'm going to pimp it again. I don't know Sapphic personally. I've never talked to her, although I did do a battle with her back when I used to be a member of the LGBTQ XYZ community. And Jack Miller just came in and, you know, kind of weird. I was thinking about this post. I looked at it today and read it. It's worth taking a look at. You know, there's a lot of people that are stepping up. And this gives me a little bit of time, as much as Shadow will let me, to run my mouth about the importance of voting for witnesses. Very important to vote for witnesses. You know, a lot of us, if you're a negative, cynical individual like me, we like to focus on what's wrong with the platform. Well, Daddy always told me, if you think something's wrong, give a solution. My solution to what is wrong, I know I get in trouble for saying the top 20 are the governing body, and, you know, that's different people translate that different ways. But, you know, if we don't like the fork we're in, we'll keep an eyeball on GitHub and stuff for the technical folks. You know, if we want changes made to how the blockchain runs, well, we need to keep up with those that are making the blockchain exist. And that's what witnesses are. No witnesses, no blockchain. No Steam post, no self-aggrandizement, no Steam. So that's my little rant. I'm so happy to see you all. Activist Blog, Artemis North, Battle Axe, Darrowsnack, Ego Instant, and on and on. Who's the other Ego Instant? Oh, he's got an E on his. Angelwitty, Guilty Parties, Hope Tang, Isaria, Jack Miller, Katrina Ariel, and it goes on and on. Hey, much love, guys.
The one with the E on is Eco Instantante. She's the wife of Eco Instant.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
And Shadows, Pub, and Snook, and Salt and Pepper, and the Bug IQ, and the Hive, and the Kitty Girl, and Yidneth, and some mist. And to all of you that are not in voice, but following along in the text channel. Salud.
Azaria says, nice to see you too, Sarge. And Cap points out that there are 115 active witnesses. If you look at the list, there's probably like 400 on there, but those are the only active ones, which makes a difference.
Well, there you go. And don't forget, there's a forum coming up right here. Same channel, not same time. It's always on a Saturday, around about 11 EST at 4 hours UTC. That'd be 1500, 3 o'clock in the afternoon for those of you that go by London time.
And that will be the 21st of July. And the chat actually has its own chat now. It's called the Witness Chat, which is where we'll hold it.
And there you go. You've been informed. You have no excuse. Share with your friends. Steam at Ramble, the place to be. Thursday mornings and evenings.
And speaking of Eco Instante, is she present? And D-Joy, are you present? No, she isn't.
I'm getting her.
Okay.
Hello.
There she is. Okay, she has won 1 SBI, and I'm going to change the second. We'll do a second draw, but I'm going to put it for 30 minutes and give everybody an opportunity to get in there, because I'm only going to be giving out 1 SBD in this first draw. So we've just started another one that'll last for 30 minutes. Go in there and go in and click on the emoji, and we'll see when it runs out whose names come up.
Click the emoji something.
Yeah. Yes, Snook's luck rubbed off on Eco Instante. Okay, Katrina, you're up. Is Katrina's still with us? There she is. And we're just waiting for her to come on voice. Katrina. Okay. Must be having connection issues. I'm queuing, but not really for post-presenting, but for an antidote. Okay, that's cool. And is Katrina back? Looks like she's having a little bit of connection.
She needs to come back. I love Janis Joplin. One of my favorite artists.
Okay, she says, there she is. I see her light up.
Every time.
There we go.
I don't know. I have to restart Discord every time. I should just do it when I get on. Yeah. So hi everybody.
Hello.
This is a U-log and my first bad karaoke entry, which I did out hiking the other day.
That was not bad, by the way. It was sung very well, especially being a cappella. Just saying.
And it's supposed to be a fun
Thank
one.
you. Thank you. It is fun. I was running from mosquitoes and out of breath when I started the thing, so singing, hiking, out of breath. I just come up this big hill. But I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm really glad I did it, and I was able to capture a little bit of my hike with everybody as well, because that's really me in my element, is me out in the forest.
You do realize that when you've got your mouth open, mosquitoes fly in, eh?
Yeah, well, there's always that danger. There's
I
risks
couldn't
with
resist
everything.
that. And Kitty Girl says, karaoke while hiking. What a concept. And
Yeah, just a cappella. I don't know if that's karaoke because there's no there's no music in the background, but I'm not sure how I feel about. I'm not sure what the copyright laws are 100%, so I haven't really wanted to do a lot of karaoke. I'd rather cover it on my guitar or sing it myself.
well, there can't be too many copyright laws apply to the fact that you're videoing yourself for your own personal blog of you singing, or anybody that sings in the shower is euchred.
Right, but if I'm using somebody else's music on top of it, I'm not sure. Okay.
As long as, okay, that answers that question.
As long as you're a really good singer, I don't think that.
Yeah, wouldn't worry about it too much. If you tried to sell this video, it might be a different story.
But I am trying to make money off of it on Steam.
Yeah, but how much are you going to make that it matter?
Yeah, well.
Technically, a cappella either, but it's for sure more strict on pre-recorded track, but while Steam it is profit. Yeah, it's kind of a gray area, but you know they'd really have to be dicks to be pushing it.
Well, anyway, I had a lot of fun with this, and it ended up being a bit of a U-log as well, and it's short. But yeah, I was running from the mosquitoes singing Janis Joplin.
Now there's an image.
You made me smile when I saw that, so thank you for doing that.
Yay. Well, it's a Snick made me do it tag, so.
Nice one, yes.
Perfect. That's becoming a popular tag.
It is.
And it's usually true when it's put in there, too.
It is usually true.
Snook made me spoon it? Oh, my. Okay.
Oh, that's because of my spoon, my spoon video with the song with the spoons.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Katrina. Snook, you are up. And we've got Quiet.
I'm here, but I gotta find my link. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, okay. Oops. And we'll just give her a moment to grab the link. And there we are.
Okay, as we all know, well, maybe not all know, Jack Miller is a witness. I don't always agree with Jack Miller, but I like Jack Miller because he is straightforward. And you know where you stand with him, and you know exactly what he's thinking because he doesn't pull any punches. This is his witness update, and he's done a lot of good with the witness page where you can see all the other witnesses posts. And I don't know if Jack has the link to that, but that's a really nice site because you can see all the witnesses posts that show up on there. So I just wanted to highlight that because he doesn't.
Yeah, Jack has it set up that if a witness posts in a certain category, that it'll show up, it'll re-steam to his page so that you can go there and find it at any time. How about you put the post in there, the page in there, Jack?
If I might say a little something, Jack Miller, I vote for him as a witness, not just because he's a veteran. There's veteran behind your name, even though I'm a big supporter of the veterans community, though not very active in that veteran community, but a big supporter of it. And you know, there is a veteran that I've been flagging like crazy recently, but I'm going to tell you why I vote for Jack Miller as a witness. This man is probably one of the most positive witnesses on the platform. He will identify problems and just not complain about it, but he comes up with viable solutions and then puts them into action. This witness here is the quintessential definition of, I hear you talking that talk, can I see you walk that walk? And that's what Jack Miller does, right or wrong, whether you agree with him or not. That man is a very positive man, and he's doing what he thinks is right, whether you agree with it or not. He puts his talk into action.
And that makes a big difference for sure. Thank you, Serge. And the link to the witness page account is up there for you to go to and take a follow of so that it shows up in your feed. Or you can add it to GinaBot. Since some of us don't look at feeds anymore, we look at GinaBot. Thank you. And Yidneth, you are next up. And you're going to tell us a story. As soon as we can hear you.
Yeah, I just need to change the settings from the score when I listen to you and when I talk, and that's why sometimes it takes like a couple of seconds. No, it's just since I joined Pimp Your Post, I think many weeks ago, just like a long time ago in another galaxy far away. So everybody has been recommending me to apply to the Alliance. And through many weeks, I've seen, I read consistently some of my favorite feeds, for example, Petra, Senard, and the other. So I finally gathered the courage to write my application. And I really don't care. I mean, of course, it's just like a mystery thing for me. But it was like, oh my God, just like, I need to write why I will be good. So I dropped lots of flows in there just to warn people. I come with a rap plaguing thing, so probably I threw a couple of stones to myself. But it was at the end a funny post to write that I think it's also useful for people that have known me of late because there are just so many people that have joined lately, and my introduction post was a long time ago. So that's it. Besides being the application of the Alliance, it's just like a little bit refreshment of some of my virtues and flows. And that's it. Now I have to wait. I really have no idea. But the thing is just like I wanted to say thanks to the people that encouraged me and to the kitty girl, because she was also the one that she told me how to write it, and to Carrie Allen and to Katrina Ariel, who finally encouraged me last week as well. And I don't know, it's like I think it's also a funny post about me. It was really hard to write about yourself and say, why would you be good? And I was like blushing, oh, I don't want to write this. I was just like, should I write? Just like, oh, I'm generous, I'm kind, I'm humble. I just like, I'm not, just like, I mean, that's what I think. Those are my features. But when you have to write about them, it feels so awkward that it took me forever to write the final application. So I just dropped a couple of funny things and maybe a little, maybe a couple of flows as well. So they get a warning as well. And that's it. Just like I want to thank to the people that encouraged me to do it. And now the mystery awaits.
Good stuff. Well done, Katrina. Thank you. And Ingenuity, the founder of the Alliance, you are up. Oh, sorry. I meant Yidneth. I'm looking at the screen and saw Katrina. Yes, welcome aboard, Yidneth. We must have sent... Where's Ingen?
You lost him.
Yeah, it looks like he dropped out.
He got all flustered.
Okay, we'll go to Chris then. He'll be back. It's probably his connection. Yeah, his connection's probably wonky on him again. There he is. He's back. Don't know how solid he is, but he's back. And Chris is typing. And we'll give him a moment there to get his link in. There we go.
Sorry, I didn't realize that you meant me. I just put my icon up there.
Well, surprise, surprise. We're efficient.
Yeah, it sounds like it. This, I don't have too much time, but this is just a post I wrote. It kind of explains what I'm going to start writing. Well, I don't know what it's going to end up being. Each post will be a chapter, but this is kind of a prequel to explain what goes through my head and why I'm doing it. There's also a post that I wrote just before this about losing our dog, and it was it's kind of gonna all tie together, I guess.
You're gonna write about what goes through your head? Is that not frightening?
No, this part's not. Well, I guess I guess it's a little bit frightening. Like Jerry finds it quite odd, but sometimes it's frightening in a good way, and I guess to me it's just the way it is. But I don't know what everyone's going to think.
Well, I guess we're going to find out. It could be illuminating. Who knows?
Yeah, it's mostly just imagination. It's just the way I don't know. I think it's kind of like a way I cope with anything, really. Like it just plays out in my head in certain ways, and I thought everybody was like that, but it turned out that they're not.
I think we're all unique in our thinking, one way or another.
Yeah, for sure. So I just thought I'd throw that up there. If I can get a chance later, I'll come and pimp the other one too.
Sounds like a plan. As you know, we're back again this evening.
And if I can get out, then I will. I don't really patchy service here, but right where I'm sitting right now, I had it, so I figured, I'll give it a shot. And luckily, I was able to get in.
Well, I'm glad you did. And I was glad to see you join the writer's block too.
Yeah, I think that's going to really help as well. It's a lot of creative minds there, and I enjoy that. So hopefully I don't have a whole lot of time extra, but anytime I can get in there and help out at all, I will.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Shadows. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Ingen, You fell out just as we called on you, so let's hope your connection holds long enough. Okay. Come on down, engine. And maybe his connection's not going to hold long enough. Either that or he's looking for it. We'll give him a moment.
Whose turn is it?
There he is. It's you.
Oh, my dust thing's popping in and out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we kind of thought your connection was being wonky. Eco Winston would like to know where you found the alliance.
Where I found it? I founded it. I founded it all by myself.
You did. We started arriving.
If you build it, they will come.
And they did. And Engine is going to be our guest next Tuesday.
Kirita's Corner, new show. First one was awesome. In Toronto yesterday. I liked it. Oh yes, my post. Here we go. Arg! Found a very humorous piratey post for all you pirate fans out there. I read it. Gave me some chuckles and some giggles. I think you'll like it. It's a new Steam Peep too, so see if we can go over there, show them a little love, and help boost that retention rate here on the platform. I think that's only like his second or third post. Bumped into him in a Discord last week. I forget exactly where, but yeah, go say hi to the Rev. Tell him Whitty sent you.
Sounds like a plan. We might even be able to get him to come in here to Pimp Your Post Thursday.
We probably can.
Yeah, there's probably a person or two in here that he knows.
I'd say somebody introduced him to it.
Yep, I think so. He looks kind of smooth in his arrival.
It looks like he's read a few posts before, right?
Exactly. All right. Thank you, Engine. And Katrina.
Yes, ma'am.
You are up. There's Deranged Visions came to see us. Whoops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. So sorry, Katrina.
That's okay. I don't mind getting upstaged by Yidna.
Go ahead. Tell us about your post.
Okay, so I have I have this citrine crystal that many of you have seen before in my posts that I like to bring around with me because I like to have a friend, and it has come to symbolize friendship. And Sir Cork took it from the last post that I put in and made this little owl for me, partially to cheer me up, and partially just because Sir Cork is awesome that way. And so he played around with the picture for a bit, but this post is really about friendship. A little bit of a tip of the hat for sure to Sir Cork, who has been a very good friend to me, and also to everybody else, and just about how much I appreciate friendship and lightheartedness. This is also a Team Good post, so part of the proceeds are going to You Are Hope and Tark.
That is a nice play with the picture, that's for sure.
I know that, Crystal.
Yes, you do.
You know that, Crystal?
Yes. Held it and petted it, and I was mesmerized by it when the sun was shining on it. It's got these neat little... There's a couple real smooth finish. Well, I'm not going to call it finishes because I don't think it was polished, but edges on it towards one of the ends. When the light shines in it, it refracts it and it turns into this really pretty rainbow, and I got lost in it a few times. It's awesome, Crystal.
Interesting. Artemis says you can never go wrong with owls.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'll just... What Sir Cork put in his DM to me when he sent me the first picture. He said, "Wisdom and a bit of cheerfulness that comes from you no matter what your circumstance." I've noticed that. And that was one of the nicest things anybody said to me this week. So I really appreciated it.
Very nice. Whole Tank says that's got some serious energy, and Kitty Girl says, "I know that, Crystal, even though I've yet to see it in person." And then Ancab says, "What the fuck? Wow, I just put my headphones back on and can actually hear Ingenuity." Usually he's like 40 inches from a jet turbine. Okay, Snook, you are up.
Okay. Speaking of Ingenuity and the Alliance, for those in here that are not in the Alliance, at the bottom of this post you can find a link to find out how to join the Alliance. But he's started to do these, Ingenuity started to do these fantastic posts, basically family posts. And it's really neat. He goes through and he reads more than what you would think of all the members in the Alliance. And it is a family. So if you think it's not, you're very much mistaken. And that is exactly the type of things that he does and is there for people all the time. So I wanted to just...
Aw, thank you, Snooky.
Well, I like that you've been telling little stories at the top of it, and I love that people thought you were on a deserted island.
Oh my god, there was like 2 or 3 people that were like, "I hope you have fun on your island." I was like, "You didn't even read the post, did you?"
So, Ingen is going to join us on Curation Corner next week to talk about some of these posts that he's curated. Maybe not in this particular one. He may have another one out by then, but he'll be choosing some, and we'll be talking about them. And Artemis and I will be talking about some that we've curated. So that's on Tuesday.
Did I just see something scroll by that say Yidnith applied?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, were you?
Woo! Alright. That would be awesome. I have to go read your application, huh?
Well, apparently we've seen the application before you. Haha.
No, I got a late start this morning.
Yes, you did.
I gotta go get my truck fixed here in about 30 minutes.
And Hysteria, you are up.
Hello.
Hi, Hysteria. How's the back today?
It's better, thank you. So I don't know why I agreed to do this because, well, Shadows knows I don't really like talking, but I'm on Pensive Show today.
She does like 3 radio shows, but she doesn't like talking.
I really don't. What is wrong with me? All right, so I'm on. I especially don't like talking about myself. I'm on Pensive Show. So, sharing 8 of my songs and talking about them. So I'm really nervous about it. And it's in 3.5 hours. So if anyone wants to come and hang out and put like cat pictures in the chat and like cheer me up or something, that'd be great.
5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah. So it's on MSP Waves. That's it.
Speaking of MSP Waves.
Yes?
I was asked to be on a show and read some Steam Monster stuff for...
Oh, good.
That will be fun.
Yeah, awesome. What show?
Little Scribes.
Oh, yes, very cool. Yeah, that's tonight, right?
Yes. Tonight, Aggro's going to read Twisted Jester, and then next week I'm going to read The Flesh Golem.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and you'll be really happy to know that that's during PYPT.
Yeah, she said.
Yeah, I saw the time, and I got a frown, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll be there.
I think she said she's going to change it for next week.
Yeah, she just got this one here with your 8 songs is 8 o'clock UTC, which my calculation puts it at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means we can go listen to it and still be back here for Pimp Your Post Thursday evening edition.
That's why I agreed to do it. Yeah, it's a 3-hour show. I'm in the second hour of it, which is at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Okay, but there's still time.
Yeah, still have time for PYPT.
Great stuff. Love your timing, Azaria.
Yes.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Is there anybody else?
I gotta go. I love you guys. I will be back later. I gotta get my truck fixed so I can drive to Atlanta safely.
Have fun.
Steam on, people!
Now, I know I don't normally do this, but I'm going to today. Because, Snook is really a bad person and made me do these U-logs. So I might as well let you see one of them. And Snook is silent for the moment.
For the moment. I love that you're doing your live. That you have no idea how happy I am that you are doing that. Because it shows a side of you that not many people get to see.
Oh, that might not be a side they want to see.
Well, you actually put your humor into your U-logs, which is what is. Some people have a hard time seeing your humor.
I noticed. Yes, well, I have on occasion, but they're not very often. And this is actually my second one. I did one for Canada Day as well. So, does anybody else have something they wish to pimp? Battle says, if you don't pimp yourself at a time, Sue will.
All right, if you're going to put the link up there, you got to talk about it, Shadows.
Well, it's a U-log. It's just some comments about stuff that's been going on the last few days. There was some comments in there about the freeze in the blockchain, and I made some comments about the radio shows in the Ramble. Comment about Snook, but I've already made her cry once today. I won't do that twice.
Yeah, thank you.
And I made some comments about Banfield dropping his witness, the heat wave that's going on. And, right at the end, I shamelessly swiped Bluefin Studios' tagline, which I really loved when I saw it on his post. It says, "Do good, be good, don't be an ass." Enough said.
Yeah, that's a good tagline.
Yeah, and Eco Instant has something else that he'd like to share.
Can you hear me this time?
I can hear you.
Oh, great.
And we're just waiting for... There we go. We got a link.
I thought I would throw this in. Phoenix is, I guess, a Steemit friend, and her last contest didn't get any entries. So I noticed this next one, and it's really interesting. It's an unusual talent contest, not your best talent, but your weird talent. And these things work a lot better when you get participants. So jump in there, guys.
Steemit's Got Talent. What are they looking for?
Unusual talents. Well, look in there. I think there's some examples. But
would that be like playing spoons?
Yes, Abby the Spoon Lady would be all over this.
Did you get the Udemy course though, Snook?
No, I didn't. It's been a little crazy at my house since I put out that post. So I haven't really had time to breathe in the last week and a half.
I really love this out of that post. Really love this. Come on, process. Pop up there. There we go. What is seen cannot be unseen.
There's been a lot of that on Steam lately. I'm just saying. There's been a ton of that on Steam lately that it's like, what?
Yeah, we need to keep that one around.
Yeah, the only way I resemble that remark, hashtag Molavelli, hashtag shocked, hashtag Sahento, put on your pants.
And there we go. We have winners, and we have present winners. Katrina's present, and Cab's present, and Hobotang, no, not Hobotang, Eco Instante. All winners. Good stuff.
Woohoo! And
Yeah,
actually,
yes, Hobotang.
Hobotang, there's
Are
hope
you
for you
sure
tonight.
Hobotang can't win?
Yeah, you didn't win. That was last week. I just didn't delete it from last week. Usually I delete it so it's a clear field. But nice try, Hobotang. And
There's always
division.
next time.
yeah, ladies, my daughter-in-law, we put her name, which is pronounced ladies, like
Okay.
ladies, but ladies, so you could tell them apart because they're always together in the same room. So I suggested that they make it so you can differentiate between the two in their name.
There's a good Canadian cartoon there. Life's too short for pants. Because everybody knows that Winnie the Pooh is a Canadian. And
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, this story originated from Winnipeg, Canadian soldier.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There you go. You learned something else. Deranged Visions.
Propaganda.
You are up.
As nice as Pooh is, how could he not be Canadian?
Yeah, good point, kitty girl.
I take it, Jack, you like the show?
Okay, Deranged. There we go. I see it. There we go.
Okay. So this post is something I put together when the whole debacle with the blocks stopping. It's just a quick little thing about when I was telling people to go outside and experience the real world, and instead of sitting on Discord crying about Steam it being down. So when it was down, I went out on a walk with my wife and my daughter, and my daughter, I just got her a camera so she can start her photography career. And so, I signed her up for an account. So she's Poetic Angel. She does poetry. My wife, I think I've shared one of her poems in the past too. So she's going to be doing poetry. She does sign language, so she'll probably do some sign language videos. And photography. So, yeah, that's it.
Snook says no pressure there, Deranged, for your daughter.
Hey, she's going to get past me. She's going to surpass the teacher.
And Deranged, notwithstanding the fact that it was pitch dark out when it went down here, but we're in the middle of a heat wave. I could not go outside. Well, I could, but only momentarily.
Hey, it's like 100 degrees here in Utah.
Yes. When you have lung damage and there's high humidity, you stay inside.
Yeah, we don't have any humidity here.
Yeah, we do. You haven't lived until you've had humidity.
Hey, I was on the East Coast last month for my trip.
That should do
and that humidity sucked, especially down in like Louisiana and the bayous and stuff. It was so bad.
That's dangerous. In fact, I saw a headline come across the CBC this morning during this show. There have been 33 people die in Quebec from this heat. So that's just not good. Okay, has anybody got anything else that they'd like to share? Okay. Katrina says it's finally heating up here. Been cold and rainy for a month. Oh, if we knew, Katrina. Go ahead, Snook.
Oh, I can look for some more.
We're good.
Okay.
And we'll just switch the screen over. And this has been Pimp Your Post Thursday, morning edition, with your host, Shadows Pub, coming to you from the Rambling Radio. And until the next time, it's all about community. Oh, and goodbye, Wilma.
Bye, Wilma.